know, if you're not old enough, let me tell you something. The O.J. Simpson trial captivated this country. America seemed transfixed on a baffling murder. The stunning blonde, her husband, the NFL great, on trial for murder, denying it all. Tonight, how Hollywood is taking on the case and what the actors thought about O.J. then versus now. Here's ABC's Deborah Roberts.
We, the jury, in the above entitled action, find the defendant, Orenthal James Simpson, not guilty of the crime of murder.
Before that infamous verdict, nearly 100 million watched as O.J. Simpson fled police in that 2-hour Bronco chase.
Ford Bronco, possible plate.
I'm Peter Jennings at ABC News headquarters. Let's immediately go to a picture in Los Angeles.
It felt like a made-for-TV movie. Now it is one.
Got 2 victims in Brentwood.
Brentwood? Nobody gets killed in Brentwood.
The captivating case with its memorable cast of characters is back in an FX 10-part miniseries, The People versus O.J. Simpson. Cuba Gooding Jr. stars as O.J. Simpson.
This was the hardest role I've done. It took me a good month or so after filming the show to finally get back into my right frame of mind. Because I told him I had nothing to hide. What do I got to hide?
Simpson continues to claim he's innocent and didn't kill his ex-wife, Nicole Brown Simpson, and her friend, Ron Goldman. The miniseries chronicles the nearly 9-month trial. Canny Simpson attorney Robert Shapiro is portrayed by John Travolta, his first television role in decades.
So what was appealing enough about this to bring you back to TV?
The material was powerful, and the comments that it was still making about contemporary issues, about the legal system, about the judicial system, about racism.
Another key player in the courtroom drama, no-nonsense prosecutor Marcia Clark, played by Sarah Paulson, with that unmistakable curly hair which would become fodder during the 9-month trial.
I, too, was sort of going, what are you doing? Why is your hair like that? Why are you doing, and the truth is, it was really just not the point and should not have been on my mind at all.
Who can forget Simpson's defense dream team? Charismatic Johnny Cochran, played by Courtney B. Vance.
Brother, I ain't trying to be respectful. I'm trying to win.
Robert, are you a lawyer?
Yes. Yeah. Well, I used to be, but not criminal.
David Schwimmer, with the signature gray streak, transforms into Simpson's close friend, Robert Kardashian.
Why in the hell were you in there alone?
I don't know, man.
At that point, nobody really knew much about Robert Kardashian.
He was just a regular man who suddenly found himself 1 year later incredibly famous.
Uncomfortable with notoriety, Kardashian never lived to see the explosive fame his daughters and ex-wife would later enjoy. Schwimmer says he spoke with Kris Jenner, learning things few of us knew about O.J.'s confidant.
He was incredibly loyal and compassionate and generous. Perhaps the most valuable thing to me was learning that he was a man of deep faith, very religious man. I do think he was conflicted at times, and I think his feelings and beliefs did change during the course of the trial.
In a documentary, The Secret Tapes of the O.J. Case, Kris Jenner recalls watching her ex-husband's face as the verdict was announced.
I think he was shocked. He was definitely stunned. I mean, you could look at his face and see it. Known him my entire life. I know that, like, he was floored that was the verdict.
One of Schwimmer's scenes was actually filmed in the Kardashians' former home.
Give me the gun. Give me the gun.
What was that scene like for you?
One of your closest friends has a gun to his head and is about to kill himself. What do? You do everything you can to stop it.
Simpson flees police with his friend A.C. Cowlings behind the wheel. This is the actual 911 call to police.
This is A.C. I have O.J. in the car. He's still alive, but he got a gun to his head.
When we tell people we were doing a TV series on O.J. Simpson, the first thing they say to you is, let me tell you where I was when the Bronco chase happened.
People are stopped alongside the road.
Do you remember where you were during that Bronco chase?
Yeah, I was watching the next game, and then they cut into the Bronco, the little small corner of the screen, and everybody's like, that's O.J. Simpson, he got a gun in his mouth.
2 hours later, with the nation transfixed.
Here he is now. Here's the car pulling into the driveway.
Simpson is back at his Brentwood mansion and soon under arrest, charged with murder.
We do have sufficient evidence to convict him and prove his guilt beyond a reasonable doubt.
In an instant, Marcia Clark is thrust into the blinding limelight.
She had the courage of her convictions and wanted to go the distance to make sure that that this man was put away. And to all of a sudden be thrust on a national stage and have the predominant conversation be about what she looked like and her manner, and was she feminine enough, and was she strident, and was she a bitch?
Good morning, Miss Clark. I think.
The series shows how a high-profile murder trial soon becomes a racially charged courtroom drama.
70% of whites thought O.J. was guilty, 70% of blacks thought he was innocent. Did this film shatter your perceptions one way or another?
For me, the biggest discovery was the things that were not submitted to court. The Fuhrman tapes, the legal battle behind the scenes.
Which includes the Dream Team's strategy.
Mark Fuhrman.
Pointing fingers at the LAPD, which has a history of alleged misconduct. Officers accused of planting evidence, mishandling it, and framing Simpson.
Did you plant or manufacture any evidence in this case?
The actors hear the real explosive audio tapes of Detective Mark Fuhrman spouting racial slurs like this.
First thing, anything out of the mouth for the first 5 or 6 sentences is a lie.
Mark Fuhrman is a lying, perjuring, genocidal racist.
The bile that this man said about black people, and the frustration and anger I felt, you know, having sons, having 2 boys that are now at that age where they have to deal with not just gang violence, but police brutality. It gets me frustrated and angry.
Sir, out of the car now. Come on.
The miniseries triggered personal emotions around race and police encounters.
I'm gonna have to cuff you.
Vance, married to actress Angela Bassett, says he personally relates to his character's struggles.
How did that impact you as an actor?
We live in a very nice neighborhood, and it happened to me where the police came to our house and they had heard that somebody was pacing around the neighborhood, and I come outside and they're screaming, "Get on your knees, get on," hands behind my back, and eventually they would realize and recognize that they had made a mistake. But the difference is in life, as what we're seeing nowadays with all these episodes in Chicago and the Ferguson case, we should not be rehashing this. That's why I think it's so important that we're doing this project.
And more has evolved since we've even agreed to the project. In the last year, it seemed to escalate.
With a spate of recent cases alleging police brutality, the Simpson story may strike a chord with viewers and also prompt the question many are uncomfortable with.
Did you come away with a stronger opinion about whether he's guilty or innocent? Are you convinced in your mind now what the truth is?
No. I'm not convinced either way. You know, he was found innocent by a group of his peers, but my opinions are all over the place now.
For Nightline, I'm Deborah Roberts in Los Angeles.
The People vs. O.J. Simpson, American Crime Story, premieres February 2nd on FX.